Oh my God.
I'd like to start this meeting with a public hearing, local law 2 of 2025, cannabis manufacturing, cultivation, and distribution of C2 zone. Anybody signed up to speak?
We have Steve Badirian.
Thank you. I can't hear myself. Is it on?
Get close to it.
Oh,
Should be.
Hello. Yeah, there we
you
are.
go.
Thank you. Now, I wanted to speak about this this zoning requirement for this one particular process. I have some experience, and I don't want snickers from being a stoner, for God's sakes. I've had experience with the commercial use of cannabis. My great-nephew suffers from epilepsy. Yes. And he has been treated with cannabis for the last 7 years. Now, this young man had grand mal seizures, which not only threatened his life, but had measurable impact on his brain function. Every time he had one, he had less and less brain activity. Since he's been treated, he has not had a grand mal. He has had petit mals. He still has this disease, but he has not had a grand mal, and he is now having a successful life in high school. So this is a treatment that's made available quite legally, and it is a cannabis product grown commercially. The other experience I have is from the state of Maine, where cannabis is and has been a legally available option for many years, beyond what New York had. And most of the customers, the customer base for these products in Maine are people that have emotional upset. Think of veterans with PTSD, people who have suicide ideation or depression. These are not easily treated with conventional medication. They either cut the intellect or absolutely destroy the person that is trying to operate in this world. So this is a product that has viable uses, and it has been accepted in many parts of the world. Now, when I first read the zoning, I saw a 5,000-foot setback, and that's a mile in most people's book. And I can't imagine there's any property in the town that would have a 5,000-foot setback from any property line that could meet that.
It doesn't
now
say
it's been revised to 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
And that's still an excessive setback, especially in a C2 zone. So, I mean, we are looking at an opportunity, an agricultural product. If someone were to put in commercial greenhouses, which is how this product is now grown, they're not pot plants in the back of some teenager's bedroom. They are agricultural products grown in commercial greenhouses. And that's all I wish to say. There's my 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well spoken.
Anybody else? Somebody want to make a motion, close the public hearing?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Welcome all to the March 6th Wilton Town Board meeting. Would you all rise for the pledge, please? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ryan, do we have John on this? No. Okay. Supervisor Lamb?
Here.
Deputy Supervisor McEachran, hopefully who
Is
will.
he on?
Okay. Councilman Bogardus?
Here.
Councilwoman Culligan? Here. Councilman O'Connor?
Here.
Thank you. Does Somebody wanna, if you all had a chance to read last month's minutes, somebody wanna make a motion to approve it?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'd like to welcome all the scouts here, their families and friends. Want you to know I'm all proud of you, what you're doing at your young age. You're all gonna be, oh, I'm sorry. We can do that next.
Moving right along.
We have some to do.
Public comment, I'm sorry.
Steve?
My glasses don't work anymore.
Sorry. Two comments. One was personal because of that industry. The other is when we're reviewing the budget for the upcoming, I would hope you to have an item in there for snow clearing for the upcoming multi-use paths that are going to be provided. And right now, it's just on Carr Road, Jones Road. But in future, I think we need to have a budget item to be prepared to make these accessible in the wintertime. So that's my comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that was...
Come on. Like I say, I want to welcome all the scouts and their parents, and their friends. Proud of all of you, what you do. You're all going to be better people. But we're here to honor Ethan Lyons tonight. That's a great thing you did for the kids over there at Ballard Road. You got a bright future. I can see you got great parents. You're being brought up right, and you will be a fine citizen. Thank you. And Sue's got something for you she's going to read.
Whereas Ethan Lyons is a member of Boy Scout Troop 4024 of Wilton and has recently achieved the rare distinction of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. And whereas the Eagle Scout Awards honors not only to the Scout, but also his family, his troop, and his troop leaders. And whereas a Boy Scout is required to complete an Eagle Leadership Service project as part of the qualifications for the rank of Eagle Scout. And whereas Ethan Lyons planned and led a project to build a Gaga Ball pit for Ballard Elementary School. And whereas Ethan Lyons set his goal and coordinated volunteers, drafting building plans, procuring materials, and supervising construction. And whereas Ethan Lyons' project took 504 hours to complete, working in collaboration with the school principal, Scout leaders, Scout families, members of the community, and fundraising efforts. And whereas Ethan Lyons ensured that the building plans included an ADA accessible entry door, allowing all students and members of the public to participate in the activity. And whereas Ethan Lyons also incorporated 2 water bottle holders to encourage hydration while engaging in this fun and active recreational activity. And whereas it is fitting to recognize the dedication, leadership, and perseverance demonstrated by Ethan Lyons in attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Wilton Town Board commends Ethan Lyons for his outstanding achievement in attaining the rank of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America. And be it further proclaimed that the town clerk forward a duly inscribed copy of this proclamation of commendation to Ethan Lyons.
Would you like to come up, get your picture taken, son?
Can you take a picture for Nancy or give me your phone and I will?
It's in your office.
I can imagine what you did to it. Maria, can you take a picture for Nancy? Thank you. That's okay. There we go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, might as well put everybody up there.
Stunner. I did all day. I didn't stutter. I didn't do anything.
No, you did well. I'm like, I just have to have my glasses on.
I know.
All yours.
I know. Wait, be in the background.
Pulling a bomb. Position myself behind you. I like
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. No,
Congratulations.
awesome. Nice job.
All right.
Extension of moratorium, that's cannabis.
Does anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion to extend the moratorium.
4/3/25.
But, you want to do it?
And just as a point of explanation, it is because we're waiting for a response from the Saratoga County Planning Board of their review of the proposed local legislation.
So we're going to make a motion to schedule a public hearing for the moratorium.
Yes. Did you second that, or did I second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Proposed local law 3 of 2025, traffic mitigation fee, we gotta set a public hearing.
That will be April 3rd at 7:01.
I'll make
Thank
a
you.
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Park and Rec Commission. How are you doing?
Good, how are y'all this evening?
Good.
I'm Ken Bishop with the Park and Rec Commission. Thank you very much for your time this evening. We just wanted to get in front of you all, kind of give you an update on some of the new members that we have with the commission, as well as what the results were from our QR code and survey that went out, and then also what's an update on some of the projects that we've got going on. So I'll let Sarah go ahead.
Okay, hi, I'm Sarah Bogardas. I'm one of the newer members. Since June of last year, we've actually doubled in size, myself being one of them. So we're now at full capacity of 9 people. One of the main ways we did get some extra interest was through our survey. The survey was to look at the interest of what people wanted in the town of Wilton for recreation. So we sent out a survey through Facebook, Wilton Facebook, so thank you. We sent it to other community groups, recreation groups, people who would just be interested in town of Wilton growing. Yeah, the survey was up through the QR code, and we were quite a few responses. I'll pass it over to Andrea to go through what we found.
These are some of the results.
Thanks, Ken.
Yep.
We collected responses from June to December of 2024. In total, we received 236 responses from town residents. Residents were asked to rank a list of activities that they were most to least interested in, and there was a free text option for free text responses for things they were interested in as well. Overall, biking trails for beginners and intermediates received the most interest, followed by pickleball and the free text response option. The free text response option included around 115 responses pertaining to the Jones Road project and bikeable, walkable safe pathways, 11 references to a pool, 4 to a dog park, 3 to roller hockey, 3 to tennis, and the remainder were variable responses.
So really what we found from some of these results are a lot of what the focus has been on the town in putting trails in and connecting a lot of the areas of the town together. So that's kind of been a big part of our focus at the beginning, was to find, such as Forest Grove, where there are a lot of trails that are going in over there that are going to be paved and non-paved, and some of the things that we might be able to do north of Forest Grove, where the area is out there where there's no homes. And so we're trying to explore those options, as well as the 34 acres that are in there within Forest Grove. An update on some of the projects that we actually have on the books, Mark?
Yeah, the one when we started thinking about and looking for properties within the town, away from Gavin Park, that was kind of what we were charged with. The first one that came to light is this small piece of property that's up on Northern Pines Road. We visited a couple times, and it's a beautiful little spot. So we looked at that, and the town got involved, and I thank the town board for supporting this project. The idea is going to be for putting a fishing pier there. There's a spot for a small parking lot for cars. It's right next to the veteran pool, by the way. There's a 6-foot wide pathway taking you back to this fishing pier, which is right along the Snook Hill, stocked stream, or whatever you call it. And then there'll be also walking path go right down through that, and you can also walk around the whole area. It's a very wetlandish area, but it was done very sensitively environmentally. You can see it out there, obviously. I was out there with Ryan and the LA people and all that kind of. So we think it's going to happen this calendar year, 2025. It's just got to get some more signatures from the state, I believe. But it's a beautiful spot, actually. It looks east as you're going to Northern Pines Road. It looks east. And in the fall particularly, it's really nice. But hoping some of the veterans will use that, especially doing some work down. But hopefully town gets a good chance to use it. So we'll see what happens. But that was one property we looked at, and we're looking to work on others.
We appreciate your time very much. You will probably see some of us on a quarterly basis as we get some of the other members that you have not been introduced to and other projects as they go on. We'll bring you updates more on a quarterly basis. We don't want to bog down the meetings, so we don't want to be here every single meeting for you. But we do want to help you and get you updated. If there are anything that you need from us that we can provide, or, if we need more direction, please reach out to me and I can help the committee. Appreciate your time. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Again, we all appreciate you, the other members of the committee, coming tonight, and for all the work that the commission does in trying to improve and enhance recreation opportunities for our residents. It's very much appreciated.
Absolutely. We really appreciate the support from the board as well.
Real quickly, I was talking to a coworker about it, and she suggested, which could be perhaps a Boy Scout venture, I don't know, or a park and rec, trying to come up with a way to have like fishing poles available. So that's for everybody. So if they don't have a fishing pole, they can still go, and maybe, I don't know how we would keep them from walking away, but if we could get, some donated or anything, that way it's equal opportunity for everybody to be able to go and come check out that fishing spot.
Great idea.
We just got to figure out how to connect trails to get across the Northway to you. A lot of discussion on it. Just to bring a trail over the Northway to connect everything that way to Gavin Park and different things. There is some discussion. There's a lot of rumors. Hopefully, maybe they'll put a new bridge in and we can put it on there.
That bridge over 87 and Tom Jones is just way too narrow.
So I know there's a lot of theory and a lot of discussion in hopes that we can get a trail across to you, and that would just open up a vast opportunity for you guys.
It absolutely would, definitely.
Ken?
Yes, sir.
Deputy Supervisor McCachran's in Florida, and he's your liaison, so work with him.
Absolutely.
So we keep the ball rolling, get things done. Thank you all for all what you do.
Keep him updated as well.
Good.
Appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Delegan Pond fishing regulations.
Okay. So every year we renew the fishing regulations for Delegan Pond, Scout Pond. It's a fishing program in the town of Wilton. Are the owners of the property known as Camp Saratoga, and they stock the Scout Pond for resident fishing. The stocking program is for town of Wilton residents only. April 1st to July 1st will be reserved for fishing by town of Wilton handicapped residents and resident youths age 16 or under, and may be assisted by immediate adult family members. The remainder of the trout fishing season will be open to town residents to October 15th, the last day of trout season, for all persons over the age of 16 with a required valid New York State fishing license. Fishing limit is 2 per day. Adults after July 1st, catch and release is recommended, and no live bait is permitted. Worms and lures are permitted. It says no live bait, but...
Somebody want to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the fishing regulations for this year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Annual ethics training date. You got something?
Yes, we do. We had decided on the Thursday, the 22nd of May at 6 PM.
May 22nd, 6 PM.
That's my birthday.
That's your birthday? Somebody want to bake a cake, who comes?
Yeah, thanks.
I will.
Thank you. So like I said, 6 PM, an email will go out for those who need to attend training. Yes, prior to the ZBA meeting. Thursday, May 22nd at 6 PM, just before the ZBA meeting.
Additional use in C1 zone, Will Brochures?
Yes. Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? I have a small presentation on my computer.
You have that set up? I turned the overhead on.
I know you used it before.
Should be up and running pretty quick.
Okay.
What is this?
Where is these?
Microphone's excited for the presentation.
That's the pyramid box. There's a bigger map in the front, isn't it? No, next page, yeah. Housing, maybe some storage. The wall, is that the Y?
Oh, this is all wooded area. What the hell is the homeless people gonna do?
So where is it? Oh, right there on the wall.
Cabbage Patch Kid?
Yeah, they'll stick to it.
Oh, this is my-
Hi. My name is Will Borchers, and I am here to present on why I would like the town's help to add 3 additional uses to a 20-acre parcel of land in Wilton. So this is a 20-acre parcel on Old Gick Road, sort of behind the Walmart and Lowe's, that area of Wilton. And it's currently under C1 zoning, which is focused on retail and shopping center uses, and some other uses as well. What I would like the town's help with is to add a few C2 uses that would allow for the creation of a flex park style warehouse facility. The 3 uses that we would need to accomplish such a project are warehousing and distribution, self-service storage facilities, and assembly, fabricating, or packaging of products. Now, a flex park is a series of warehouses divided into smaller spaces that a lot of small contractors would use in businesses of that nature. So how we arrived at this use, we conducted a traffic study, which was very helpful. We have an in-depth understanding of the area, having lived in the Saratoga-Wilton area for a very long time. And also, we wanted to find the highest and best use for this piece of property. So the first thing I would like to go over is this traffic study that we did. The first part of the traffic study was to find the best entrance and exit to the property if it were developed. And the best place to access it is off of Old Gig Road, which is it has more of a warehouse type of use. A warehouse fits in this neighborhood a little better than a retail plaza.
Can you point out on there, I'm sorry, is the 22 acres on the bottom part of that photo?
Yeah, and then point out where the Lowe's and the Walmart are.
Yep. So this is the 20 acres. These are the areas where they suggest we have the entrance and exit. And this here is the turbine services building. And the next map here might be a little more informative. This is the site, the 20 acres. This is Morris Store and then the YMCA. That would be Walmart and Lowe's and Aldi's and Spectrum. And then here is Route 50. So I have Route 50 marked up here in green. And that's because it's sort of the retail core of the town of Wilton. And then Old Gig Road is marked out here in red. And you can see all along Route 50 you have a lot of retail stores and box stores. But when you get to this area of Old Gig Road, you have a lot of different uses. You have, like the YMCA is a prefabricated metal warehouse building similar to what we're proposing. You have Morris Store, which is a self-service storage use. Turbine Services would be a typical tenant in this building. They have a small office, they have a small amount of fabricating and some storage and things like that. And then over here is another location of Morris Store, which is, again, self-service storage units.
Could you, for those of us in the audience, could you stand on that side
Oh,
for a minute
yeah.
and point things out?
Yep. So this is Route 50, and these are all the shopping centers and stores around Route 50. Here we have Lowe's and Walmart, and this is Old Gig Road. And when we get to about here on Old Gig Road, the nature of the neighborhood changes a little bit. So you have the YMCA, which is a prefabricated metal building. Morris Store, which is a self-service storage use. Turbine Services is essentially a flex warehouse. Here is the parcel. Here is where the entrance and exit would be. And then down here is Morris Store, which is, again, a self-service storage unit facility. And then the next slide.
Going back to that map, going back a slide,
Okay.
what's it on the right?
That's Pyramid Pines, sir.
Oh, yeah, this is the mobile home park.
You talked to the residents in there, the feelings?
So I have not talked to any of them, but would be willing to do so. And then over here is the paddocks of Saratoga. And so on this slide, I have a picture, just to illustrate the point a little better. A picture of Route 50. You can see a lot of retail on both sides. It's a very retail-friendly area. And then here is a picture of our location on Old Gig Road. You see it's much smaller, less friendly to retail. You have Turbine Services here, and this would be the entrance to our project. The next thing I want to talk about is the traffic study, because that was very helpful in what we're trying to do. You can see here a number of different warehousing uses, and the number of cars they would add to the roads during AM, PM, and on Saturday. And a warehouse would be 66 cars in the AM. A transit-oriented warehouse would be 28, 53, 305 for a fulfillment center, which is not what we are looking to build. 245 for a parcel warehouse. That would be like a DHL or a UPS. And then 39 for cold storage. During the evening hours, it would be 68, 35, 56, 420 for 224, 42. And then on Saturday, it really drops off, going to 18, 42, 72, and then on some uses, none at all. Now, if we were to do a retail center during the AM peak hours, it would add 126 cars to the road, which is higher than everything but the fulfillment center, which is not the use we're trying to pursue. During the PM hours, the retail center would add 658 cars, which is more than any of the PM. And then on Saturday, it would add 1,000 cars to the roads if it were a retail center.
I don't see how Old Gick Road can handle 600 extra cars.
Right, so that's why it's currently zoned as a retail use, a shopping center use, and we're trying to avoid those cars by doing a warehouse instead, which would create less
So your
traffic.
warehouse projection, how many cars are you talking?
So we're talking during the AM hours, probably about 30 to 50. If we average all these and get rid of the 305, because that wouldn't happen. In PM, you have between 35 and 420. And then on Saturdays, you would have at most 70 cars.
So in the afternoon, you're talking 420 extra vehicles?
That would be with a warehouse use as opposed to 658.
And you're proposing a warehouse use?
Yes.
So we're going to add 420 extra cars on Old Gick Road in the evening transport, evening commute? Is what you're projecting?
That's the highest number.
I don't think that road can handle that many extra cars.
Right. That would be the highest number if it were a fulfillment warehouse.
So
And we wouldn't be looking to do a fulfillment warehouse.
you're just looking for a blank check, basically, asking us to say, yeah, build a warehouse, but not a specific type warehouse, so we know what's going in there. You're just asking us, you want to build maybe a warehouse, and maybe a distribution center, maybe 600 cars, maybe 170 cars. I do not like what ifs. I want no specifics.
Okay.
600 cars on that road? That's a difficult road to put 600 more
Right.
cars.
So that's what the car count would be if we were to build a retail center as it is currently approved.
I want to know what you're building and what's going in there before you come and ask me to give you a variance or any consideration.
Okay, it would be a flex warehouse.
What's a flex
Has
warehouse?
the state seen these numbers? Because you have to come off of Route 50 irregardless of what end the entry point is. Have
Right.
they commented on whether that intersection of Gick and Route 50 or the other end with Jones Road can handle that capacity?
So
I know coming out of the YMCA, when parents are picking up their kids, there's a long line of cars waiting to get out with their
Right.
kids, and now you're going to add 600 cars. Why not go up to exit 16 where we have warehouse and infrastructure?
I don't have any access to land up there. And now the 658 cars is what would be created by a retail center, which is one of the current uses. What I'm trying to illustrate here is that a warehouse would add significantly fewer cars, even in the worst case scenario.
Yeah, what about
And,
trucks, though? You know, I'm just reading, this package you prepared for us. Since a tenant for the proposed development has not yet been determined, various trip generation scenarios for a maximum 350,000 square foot warehousing distribution center were estimated for the proposed site based on potential uses for this parcel, not including commercial retail land uses. There are many types of warehouses defined by ITE, but the very difference in passenger vehicles and truck trip generation. Since no end user has been identified, the wide range of trip generation possibilities for a warehouse is summarized below. So, to Councilman Bogardus's point, you're asking for an approval of 350,000 square feet of warehouse space for which we have absolutely no idea to what use it will be put to and what traffic, combination of trucks, cars, would go in and out of such a facility.
Okay, so I understand, and I would be happy to share more of a plan. I think the problem is the uses are, we're a little limited by the zoning code. Like, I chose those uses because I copied and pasted them from.
But there's a reason why it's zoned what it's zoned.
Right.
Because it's appropriate for that parcel. And we also have to remember, there's a neighborhood. There's a trailer park that borders that. We need to be very mindful of what goes into there when it comes to headlights, when it comes to trucks, when it comes to noise, backup lights, and all those kind of things. People live around there. So there's a reason why it's not zoned for that.
See, for me, it would be easier to make a determination if you were to come back and say, hey, we have this prospective project, here's our tenant, here's what the use is going to be, and hours of operation, noise, levels, things that, Councilwoman Culligan was talking about, rather than, we want 350,000 square feet, and we really don't know what we're going to do with it.
Yeah, the next slide may help with that a little bit. But the point I was making with this one is our proposed uses, I know it's a broad range of zoning terms, but even the most intense warehouse use there is adds significantly fewer cars to the road than a shopping center would, which is what could be built there, built on.
But to her point about adjacency to a residential neighborhood, hours of operation, lighting, noise, all those factors. I wouldn't want that imposed on my neighborhood, let alone their neighborhood.
So just to be clear, this is a new use in the entire zone. So you open it up for the entire C1 zone.
Exactly.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
And that's something you really have to take into consideration. Otherwise, if you're asking just to change the zone in this one parcel, then it's spot zone.
Yes.
And that's different.
Yeah, we're asking only for this one parcel.
That's spot zone. But, yeah, this is something that needs to be vetted out with all the, parameters that you just talked about. Because next to a residential neighborhood, you don't have that.
Would you be more open to a housing project? Possibly, but that's another thing. So, it depends. What the scope of the project and the convenience, the structure, and all the other things. So, again, to me, from my point of view, is everything has to build into whether it's new commercial use, residential use, whatever it might be. Fine. So if you say, gee, I want to put 1,000 housing units in there, that's probably not going to fly. If it's some number substantially lower than that, possibly. But we need to see an actual plan and very specific uses.
So here's a somewhat shows the actual square, and then two buildings here which add up to about 305 square feet, I think. And they would be divided with demise walls on the interior into spaces of between 1,500 square feet and probably 10,000 square feet. And those would be leased to contractors or like a small printing shop. We operate a flex parking and divided spaces that don't create a lot of traffic, but enjoy small business or help with small business. And provide more substantial plans of that would help.
I personally want to see more specifics. I cannot, while we're sitting here tonight discussing your proposal, then all of a sudden you threw another dart at the dartboard saying, well, what if I built houses here instead? So I'm not sure if you're really committed as far as what you're doing. I want to see, personally, speaking as myself, I want to see more of a specific plan.
Okay.
Don't come up here and throw darts at what could be, maybe, might be. I want to know exactly what you're putting in this space so we know how much traffic, because we have a YMCA with families coming in and out of there, and then all of a sudden we got tractor trailers coming down through as well.
Right.
And I think we need to protect our residents on that corridor there, the Pyramid Pine Estates, the paddocks, and that whole corridor of the YMCA and everything, with tractor trailers and bigger box trucks going through there, increases the likelihood of accidents. That road there particularly has a lot of accidents. And
We don't even know if they can handle it.
and highway. You said you did a traffic study, but I don't think you did a complete traffic study if you haven't assessed the intersection of Route 50, whether it can handle the tractor trailers. I'm sure you haven't talked to the highway superintendent about our roads and infrastructure down through there. So when you reference a traffic study, was it a certified sanctioned traffic study?
It was conducted by Cretan Manning, who is a very reputable engineering firm.
Right. Did they do the Route 50 intersection and handling all the tractor trailers and
Yeah, I believe
possibilities?
This includes the...
You got a copy of it?
It includes Old Gick and adjacent roads, like Route 50.
Have you got a copy of it?
Yes, I think that was, I submitted that
I think it's in
online.
there?
Yeah.
Right now, as proposed, I can't support this
Traffic
project.
study is trips. It has nothing to do with capacity of the road.
They didn't analyze the level of service of the intersections.
Where does Marketplace Drive come out to Old Dick Road across from Turbine Services like it's supposed to on our master plan? There's Aldi's, there's a turnaround by Aldi's.
Yeah, so Aldi's is like right here.
Into the next parcel all the way through.
Goes right through the middle of it. Goes right through the middle of it.
It doesn't go through this.
It's supposed to on our
Yes, it is.
plan. That was-
Okay.
On our town comprehensive
But
plan.
it hasn't been built.
It's,
The developer would build it, it's part of the plan.
We would be the developer. So we would be more than happy to add a thoroughfare here.
So, Will, I think at this stage, if I get a sense of the board, and if the board agrees, we would have to see a very specific proposal about very specific uses, so that we could assess whether or not it fits in that area, potential impacts on the residents who live nearby, plus,
Also, there
the traffic
would be
issues.
a tree wall between the neighbors and this dense.
Yeah, but
greenery.
there's still the possible conflicts of lighting, noise, odors, whatever else might happen. So if you were to come back with a very specific plan, with very specific uses, we might be able to entertain it.
I was hoping this would be a good thing because I feel that this use is a little less intense than a retail use. So I guess I have just one more. In conclusion, we looked at the area, the neighborhood, and at least I didn't find that a retail center would be a use that would be a cohesive addition to the area. I feel that a warehouse would create significantly less traffic than a retail shopping center, including tractor trailer traffic, because they get a lot of deliveries at a retail center. And there is demand for such a project from all the small contractors in the area, and it would benefit the town by growing the tax base a little better than undeveloped land, and it would help the residents who own these small businesses. So That concludes.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Loudon Road, Bog Meadow, Culvert Rehab.
May I
Sure.
have a question for the gentleman and you guys? I would suggest that as this project moves forward, that one concession the town could consider asking would be a multi-use path connecting Pyramid Pines and Walmart. Because there's a huge population, as somebody mentioned, I think Ray, between Pyramid Pines and the paddocks. Not to mention the summit, and there's always been no way really for those folks to safely get.
That is part of a plan, master plan, making a connection. The Pyramid Pines, they want it done specifically to a specific location to connect to their mobile home park. So that's already been discussed and thought out for the master planning of this next piece when it happens. But they don't want just a connection anywhere. They want it specifically in a certain dead-end portion of the road.
And the other thing would be to consider, depending on the ultimate usage of the land, what about sound barrier, sound and light barrier via basically like a big fence?
That's what the planning board will. Yeah, those are all things that get in site plan review.
It's not our board that does that. Boy Scout leader.
I was just curious if, excuse me, I used to actually live in the house that's right on the end of the thing there.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar with that piece of property, walked it almost every single day, and the woods are not very thick there. But what I can say is, that is the only remaining wildlife spot near that actually separates the trailer park from the light pollution from the existing buildings that are already there, and the noise and everything else. And so, I mean, for example, even there was a moose that was in there at one point that you could see tracked out of there. And so it'd be really interesting to see what effect that would have on what remaining wildlife actually still lives in that area. I know it's zoned for a particular, thing already, but there's not much area left there as there is. It will become very grown up.
I like the woods there.
Me too.
Just a thought.
Thank you. Loudon Road, Bog Meadow Culvert Rehab Project Agreement. You want to talk about that, Ryan?
Wait a minute, we got a guy who's holding a separate meeting over here. Do you want to take that conversation out of the meeting, please? We're conducting business here.
Yes. Yes, it's for the DOT agreement for the $844,000 we talked about at last meeting. Just the final signing off on it.
They had a correction on the
We had to
second.
correct a couple things on it.
Okay.
It's fully funded by the state.
Thank you. Scouts, thank you. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
We're looking for the next Eagle Scout project.
Thank you.
You can help coach them through, Mr. Eagle.
What do you need?
So you just need a motion for the corrections?
A motion for the
Here, somebody want to make a motion on that agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Contract for Administrator Loudon Road Culvert Project, Fred. Master Road.
So this is the same
Master
project.
Trinity. You want to talk about that, Brian?
Help us out with the administrative piece of it, looking at the billings, and helping out Maria with billing and stuff like that. And it's an extra set of eyes on it, so.
Thank you. Somebody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. MS4 Stormwater Report. You're up, Ryan.
Yep, I just wanted, it's required for us to announce that the annual stormwater report is available if anybody wants to review it. No one ever has, but so it's there.
This is everything that is built as of the end of 2024, or is it also what is coming?
The stormwater?
No, we're talking.
This is
Like, does it
Oh, that's
inclusive?
that's the next thing.
That's something different.
Gotcha. I
That's
was
something different. We'll get that next.
Never mind.
Did you see stormwater?
No, Dwayne, I was looking at the pictures.
You all set, Ryan?
Picture book.
That's a guy thing.
You all set?
Yes.
Okay. I don't, 2024 Planning Development Report, you want to talk about that, Ryan? Pay
So
attention,
Josh
Aaron?
did a wonderful job on this. You guys got the paper copy? So Josh actually put it out, he made a
Nice job.
GIS form for this, which, he sends it off to the capital region, people are like, wow, you guys are on top of this stuff.
Very nice
They're
presentation.
really amazed at what we do, so Josh did a great job. And, development report explains everything that happened in 2024, all the active projects, past projects.
You know something that surprised me in reviewing the report? That only 4.4% of our lands are forested.
So I don't know about that number, but it's taken from the assessor's land use codes.
Okay.
So,
I mean, it shows 36% of the land is vacant.
right. So it's just the land use codes.
Okay.
Rather than going in detail, looking at each parcel.
Yeah.
That's how it's.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
wonder if it doesn't include like dedicated lands.
No,
If those are like, if those are pulled out.
Yeah.
County forest.
Okay.
Was that county forest?
Right, yeah, well, wildlife preserve,
But it would be a good
the
number to
DEC
know.
lands,
An
yeah,
accurate number.
yeah.
For some reason, I think we do have that number somewhere. We used it for some other project.
Okay.
Open space that's available.
Oh, probably the open space plan.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
open space.
yeah, okay.
Ryan, is a copy of the report online?
Yes, it's on our website.
Steve, you can have a copy if you'd like.
Only people who speak at the meetings get a copy, so.
Do I have to genuflect? Does it come closer?
$7.
$7.
Are you rushing the counter here?
All set.
You all done?
We would take it out of your town taxes, but we don't have a town tax.
2025 contract between Town of Wilton and Wilton Wildlife. You want to talk about that, Maria?
Yeah, so
Please?
actually, we have a contract with the Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park because, as you know, that organization, which is a separate organization from the town, provides services to the town such as educational programs for environmental studies. So in recognition of all that the Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park does for the town has a grant, and this is our annual contract, which is basically the same as the prior year contract.
Do you want to say anything, Ray?
Nothing other than I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Contract between Town of Wilton and Troy and Banks. You're up again, Maria.
Yes. So Troy and Banks is a firm that reviews franchise fees, which is the component on everybody's spectrum bill that has relatively nothing to do with the town of Wilton. The town of Wilton, it's kind of a misnomer. The town of Wilton is labeled on the back of the spectrum bill as an administrator of the fee, but all that happens is that there's an FAA type of agreement that Spectrum and the town of Wilton and the FAA had to allow for this franchise fee to come back into the town. So it's a portion of everybody's cable invoice, a small portion that comes into the town, which is impactful for the town because we do collect roughly $300,000 a year from this piece of the invoice that the residents pay. But again, it's not charged or levied by the town. It's based on an agreement that has to do with an FAA allowance of this fee. FCC, thank you, FCC. So, what has happened? FAA, yes, it's an airline. So, what's happened over the course of the past several years is that the town's portion of this fee has come down
And I would like to have an audit prepared by this outside firm, Troy and Banks, to look at what the amount that we should be receiving from Spectrum is versus the amount that we have received. So if it comes out that the audit turns out that, you're getting what you need to get, then we pay nothing. But whatever we do recoup as a result of the audit, a piece of that will be earned by the firm is 45%, will be earned by the firm.
Then I imagine they do their due diligence.
Exactly.
It's hard for me to believe that our revenues are going down, because my bill keeps going way up. So how can they be collecting more fees when we're getting less?
Well, a lot of people have cut the cord on cable, and they're just not using their service anymore, and they're using other streaming services.
As administrators, can we lower our bills?
Can we do the same with National Grid?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So we did try with National Grid, we did try to utilize the services of Constellation Energy as well as Sprague to see if we can kind of cut corners a little bit with supply, the supply portion of the bill. It didn't really work out the way I had expected it to, because everybody's in it to make a buck. So, you know what, and now we were cutting 4 checks instead of 2. So we're trying to streamline our work, trying to do a little bit more online as opposed to cutting checks. So we're kind of moving away from that arrangement. Because I really can't tell you, I wish I had a crystal ball to say, yes, if we entered this contract with Sprague Gas Supply, that we would actually end up paying less, a considerable amount less, rather than just paying National Grid.
Somebody like to make a motion on that?
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Summer discount for children of employees at Gavin Park. We started this last year.
Is that town employees?
Town employees.
Can we extend that to our volunteer boards as well? Since we have people on the planning board and ZBAs who volunteer their time, who may have children going to could we extend that to the volunteer boards as well?
Where was this 10 years ago?
I just woke up.
Jeez.
We give them 5-year terms, and we give them really nothing except hassle in return.
That ship has sailed. At the end of my tunnel.
We can explore it and maybe revisit that part.
I don't have no problem with
I kind of like
it.
that
I think it's a
idea.
great idea.
I don't have no problem.
I mean,
We should give them something, they don't get anything. The only thing they get's a hard time.
yeah, get a lot hard time. God bless them all.
So I'll make a motion to reapprove the employee discount and include our volunteer board members.
Like the rec board, the planning board, the
Second.
ZBA. Yeah, I'll second that. Thank you.
That's a great idea.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
These guys got nothing. Yeah.
Intermutual agreement between Saratoga Springs City School District and the town of Wilton. You want to talk about that, Maria?
Yes, so we have a verbal kind of arrangement at this point, before the contract is signed, with the Saratoga.
You gotta let Maria talk, folks. It's her turn.
The Saratoga Springs City School District pays us 50% of appraisers' fees that we pay the appraisers for helping to defend tax certiorari cases. So the whole theory is that we are spending money to help the school district defend their position too. So we've always billed at the end of the year when we have collected all of our appraisers' fees. We've always billed Saratoga Springs City School District, and they've always paid us without question based on this verbal arrangement, but we really should be putting it in. And then I started to look through some of the old files that we have, and we had an agreement created in 2011, which was never executed. So we just kind of revisited that, and now we have this agreement that Mark Schaffner and his firm have looked through and reviewed. And so we're ready to send it over to the school district for their signature as well for next year. So it'll be for, this year, 2025.
Is this something that's going to need full board approval?
Yeah, we're going to send it to them because, yeah, absolutely.
Do we want to do that? What if they say no?
They've been paying us over the years.
Well, they're the only ones that really benefit, not us. They're the only ones that benefit, there's no town tax.
Yeah, right. It'll be interesting.
Somebody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Committee reports?
I don't really have one, but I will see Greg Callender's next Tuesday morning at the IDA meeting, so I'll kind of find out where we're at with the grant, with the, what's it, not STDC, EDC, right? Empire Development.
Right.
With kind of just where we're at with ISO 16 with the water.
Good.
And we haven't heard anything from the state.
I haven't heard anything from Greg either.
I sent to Greg an update 2 weeks ago on the fees. So we're on that.
I'll touch base with them on Tuesday, just see where we're at.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, we received a thank you card from the Provost family for waiving the Gavin Park Pavilion rental fee for their memorial walk for awareness and recovery.
Nice.
Yes. And I also have a response from DOT regarding the speed limit reduction on Edie Road. This office conducted a speed limit investigation covering the length of this highway and responded to your office on May 18th, 2023. At that time, we determined the existing 55-mile-per-hour speed limit was appropriate for conditions experienced. Our policy is to conduct a speed limit study if no speed limit investigations have been conducted in the past 3 years. We are not aware of any significant changes in either the roadway characteristics or roadside development that warrant the initiation of another speed limit investigation on Edie Road at this time. That is
Thank you. Maria, you want to do your controller's report?
So the first
How come we don't have a copy?
We don't have the other side.
I don't have a
there's only one side.
Oh.
There's no transfers?
No numbers this time.
Oh, okay. Shock.
You better knock on wood.
I know, oh, I am.
Yeah.
Go to the general ledger and go over all our 2025 expenditures. I reviewed that report 4 times. This is fabulous. There were a couple of I'll tell you, the contractual expenditure account code 400, which is a legal level of obligation that we have to track at. There were a couple of things that we can do internally, which we did, that did not need board approval. But we're doing great, which is good because sales tax this year is going to be a little not certain. Not as certain as before. We're going back to pre-COVID numbers now. So, and costs have gone up. So how does that work? So, so far so good. And it's only March, so I have to, hope that it continues to be what it is. Okay, so the first category is personnel. Tiffany Delaney, who is the senior clerk in the building department, has submitted the letter of resignation effective March 3rd, and the board is requested to accept her resignation.
I want to make the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you. Andrew Ruggie resigned from his position as maintenance worker effective February 13th, 2025, and the board is requested to accept Andrew's resignation.
I'll move to accept Andrew's resignation.
Second.
Sorry, is that what department?
He works in the...
Building maintenance.
Oh, in the maintenance, gotcha.
Maintenance worker.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you. Sue Baldwin, our town clerk, is requesting to travel overnight to the New York State Town Clerks Association regional meeting from March 15th to March 18th in Hyde Park, and because it is an overnight trip, it requires board approval.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you. The second item is the annual Wilton Emergency Squad PenFlex review. I audit the Wilton Emergency Squad volunteer activity, and we had 14 active volunteers, and 11 of those volunteers had earned points greater than 50, which means they are allowed to have a small stipend at the end of their service. So we sampled 4 volunteers, and I had no exceptions. So the list of the volunteers and the points that they have earned is being posted at the Wilton Emergency Squad for the employees to review to make sure that they're on board with what they see as well. And at the end of 30 days, the volunteers will have that time to review it. And at the end, if there are no changes, then the list gets sent over to Penflex for the calculation of their pension.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will need a copy of a resolution of that. Thank you. Also, I'm just going to ask...
Do you need action on that?
Yes.
It is.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
No in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. And the last item is our asset disposal. John King, who's our park maintenance supervisor, is requesting to trade in his Toro 4700 to offset the cost of the new Toro Groundmaster 4700, which we had already approved for purchase in October of 2024. The trade-in value is $15,000. Wow. So that one that he's trading in is from 2009, and we paid $60,000, which we're getting 25% back.
Sure.
Yeah, from 2009.
How
So I
much we
think
pay for the new one?
That's because no one can afford a new one.
Right, exactly, so, yeah. Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve that asset disposal.
Second?
Second.
No in favor?
Third.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. And the last item is Scott Harrington, who's our facilities maintenance supervisor, is requesting to place his 2021 Ford F-250 on Auctions International because the new truck that he's expecting to get is expected to be received tomorrow. So we'd like to get that on, Auctions International. We can...
Is this the truck we talked about at the budget meeting? Like trying to, if it was needed in a different department?
No, that's
Okay.
Mike, you need it? You don't like your truck?
I know we talked about a few different trucks and where they could go.
Yeah.
But this is not it.
This is not
It just seems 2021 seems very new.
Pretty new.
It does. So Scott has this theory in it.
Might as well get rid of it,
Now
they're
we know.
worth
Now I
more.
get it.
I agree.
Worth
I got
more.
it. Now I remember. It's coming back to me now.
You can cycle them out.
Because I think I'm going to start doing the same thing at the office parking lot.
Got more retail value.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
You want to make a motion?
So moved.
Don't tell Scott.
Second?
Makes sense.
Second.
All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. You want to make a motion, German?
I just want to thank our Building and Codes Department for their dedication and help with the local fire departments with difficult situations. They've done a great job recently doing code enforcement and supporting the local.
They always do a great job.
Sure, it's been fun for you guys.
Not this week.
I was being sarcastic.
Anyway, thank you.
One other item. So we're not applying for a grant with the city of Saratoga Springs, but I'd like to ask the board to support their application and letter of support.
That's great. There was something here.
Yes. You're okay with that?
You need a motion or anything?
No, we just need your signature.
Okay.
His signature.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Thank you all for coming.